Okay, we're live, guys. We're live, guys. We're live. Sorry about the delay. We should have been starting about 8:45, about half an hour late because I was doing obviously a previous podcast before this called 100% United. Check that out. That video is out now with my guys Shane and Kieran. But I'm with my other guys, Shawnee and Joshy Beans. This is the Red Devils to July podcast. So we're covering all things European football, previewing the Champions League, previewing the Europa League as well, and reviewing some of last week's important fixtures. I'll be navigating the BBC News app as part of this discussion. But just breaking news, I guess. Breaking news right now. That scoreline is correct. Liverpool 1, West Ham 2 at Anfield. You know, the unbeatables, the team that are so far ahead in the Premier League are currently losing 2-1 to West Ham, a team that has a manager who is arguably, you know, a B-Tech Ollie, frankly, at this point, is currently schooling Jurgen Klopp at Anfield. Shawnee, as a Liverpool fan on this podcast, do you have any comments so far about what's going on?
Just like I was saying just previously, it might just be that there's a little bit too much eye on Liverpool. Got too much eye on the record breaking rather than just getting the job done, getting the game won. Because it was a lot of talk before the match. Can they beat Man City's win streak? All that kind of stuff. So maybe they're just more focused on breaking records rather than just winning the game. But I mean, West Ham haven't really had much. I think from the statistics they've had 3 shots, 2 on target. It's just one of them games. Yeah, it's like a FIFA game, you know. Yeah, it's kind of like every once in a while you come across a game like this where you just everything goes against you. So the opposition, we've probably had 15 shots.
Somali Flame says, "Wow, Liverpool lost whatever celebration." They are still playing, by the way. Somali Flame, they are still playing. So
still 25 minutes.
There's still 25 minutes left, and West Ham will tire. So we'll see what happens because they've done it before where they've come back and won things 3-2. So I'm just showing it you because that's just what's going on. But anyway, go back to what you're saying, Sean. What you're saying?
Yeah. So it's just one of them things where Liverpool might have just been a little unfocused. But Liverpool have had probably, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 shots, 15 shots maybe, and only one of them has gone in. West Ham have had 3 shots. 20 shots. Okay, so
20 shots, 20 attempts, and how many on target?
Not sure. Probably not many.
Wow.
Well, Fabianski's made a lot of saves.
I don't understand. I think because this is important for Klopp because I think a lot of people potentially might criticize Klopp because they'll say, "Hey, wait a minute, you were the guy that was so vocal about having a break. You got a break. You didn't play your team. You guys chilled, and now you're performing worse." So there will be potentially will be a bit of egg on his face. You know what I mean? You know, so with this kind of with this kind of decision. So what was that?
My bad. Yeah, it was just my phone.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. If Jurgen Klopp would still take that back. I still think that he's a big advocate for having a winter break, and so am I really. Even if it done Liverpool more harm than good. But what I'm saying with this game is, I mean, Liverpool have had 4 shots on target, but we've only scored 1 goal. West Ham have had 2 shots on target, and they've scored both their goals. You know, so that's just the difference right now. Is West Ham strangely, probably having the game of their life. It's probably having their best game in the last 15 years. Against Liverpool, and it just sometimes that happens. Sometimes games like this go against you. It's not like that Liverpool are playing badly. I think we're actually playing quite well. There's some of the passes that I've been seeing. I think have been cutting edge passes. It's just that we just haven't had the clinical finishing that we normally have.
Shout out to guys in the comments. Rasmus A, hi mate, how you doing? Don Ragnar, Origi Weldy incoming. That's
overhead kick from the edge of the box.
And then Rasmus, I want to add something. I'll later clarify why I asked the question. Fair enough. And United man, shout out Shane. Please, everyone watching, go over and subscribe to his channel. Nowhere is it finishing 2-1. Yeah, I agree. I don't think I'd be very surprised if it finishes 2-1 because, you know, one, it's West Ham, but also more importantly, like I just think that this would be not a positive image to send to Atletico Madrid, because Atletico will think, well, wait a minute, you know what I mean? Like we can, if West Ham, we're better than West Ham. So if West Ham can get a result at Anfield, then why can't we? You know what I mean? So
Oh my goodness!
Is it West Ham goal or did Liverpool equalise?
Fabianski error, Liverpool equalised.
Oh, for goodness sake! So it's 2-2.
He's literally been outstanding.
He's literally been outstanding, and it's 2-2.
Can I just say that Fabianski has done magnificently. He really has. It was just there was a shot from Trent Alexander-Arnold. He had a lot of time to view it, but it was moving a lot in the air, and he saved it terrifically. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. But once again, it's just one of them things that's
right. We're gonna move on from we're gonna move on for Liverpool now. Like that's
okay,
like,
no worries.
No, not as a cost. That wasn't a cost to you, Shawnee. It was just like it's just typical almost. Like it's typical. We think that Liverpool are gonna lose, and you know they obviously come back 2-2. So it's almost like it's a non-story anymore. Like, is anyone in the comments surprised that Liverpool have now equalised and will probably go on to win the game?
Well, like, the tone of my voice when I said Liverpool are losing, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, Liverpool are losing. I was just like, they're losing. Okay, they're gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, I was massively concerned. Like I say, I've seen it. Like there's a couple of times, especially at the beginning of the season, where I thought to myself, oh, for goodness sakes, man, this is just going to be a terrible loss, and we come back to win the game. Last season, I was one of the people who completely wrote Liverpool off against Barcelona. I was just thinking to myself, it's not a bad Champions League exit. You know, losing to Barcelona. You know, we'll just keep it nice and tight at Anfield, and we'll just leave the Champions League with dignity. You know, and that's what I was kind of thinking. I came back and won 4-0. It's just, I don't know. I'm just never surprised anymore. Once again, I'm not particularly scared of Atletico Madrid, and I don't know what's going to happen in this game, but you know, I'd quite fancy ourselves now.
Right. So let's just quickly go into obviously just a game week 27 review, just to review the previous games. So I don't want to keep everyone late, but we'll just get stuck into it now. As you can see, as hopefully everyone can see, obviously these are the results from obviously last week coming in. I want to hone in on a few results we're going to sort of just review. I think the first one, which I think we're going to talk about really, is this one here. Okay, is Chelsea-Tottenham. Chelsea 2, Tottenham 1. Lampard schooling Mourinho twice. Is this, you know, and I put this to the comments, and also put this to you guys. Is Mourinho done now? I know that Tottenham have injuries because obviously they don't have Kane and they have Son. It's likely that Tottenham aren't going to get top 4. Let's be real with those injuries. Is Mourinho done out here?
No, he'll get them a trophy at some point.
Will he get them a trophy though? Oh, sorry. Don Wagner says, "What's that funny notification sound in the background?"
Sorry, that's me. I'm trying to mute it. Just 2 seconds.
Don Wagner says, "Sounds like Ollie's wake up alert." Keep the banter coming, Don Wagner. Appreciate it. Like it's making us feel a lot better. It really is. Let me start some comments. United Man was just about to put a bet on Liverpool to win 3-2. The United Man. Somali Plan says 2-3 to West Ham. Let's keep the hope. And then Red Dead Weaker says Monday Night Football 1 point today. And Somali Flame says Mourinho been done for years. Outdated tactics. So, but you guys are saying no. Is that are you saying no?
I'm saying no because I think he'll probably be at Spurs 3 years, 2-3 years. He'll get them a trophy, even if it's like a Carabao Cup. That's better than what Spurs have had for a long time, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So that's all I'm saying. Like, but in terms of for Spurs, he was there. He was hired because Spurs are probably have been a laughing stock for so long. Mm-hmm. and they haven't won a trophy. I believe in 3 years he'll win a trophy.
So you want to give Mourinho 3 years to win one trophy at Spurs?
Well, they haven't won a trophy in what, 20 something?
Champions League final. I'm still baffled by that. Like, why would you sack a manager that got you through to the Champions League final? But yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll sack him now. They'll at least wait till the season's finished, and then they'll probably have like every manager has a plan, and every manager has a goal and a target that they have to stick to. So I'd imagine when he went in and spoke with the board, he might have already, in a pre-agreement, already said, "Listen, I can't do anything this season, but if you give me the right money for the summer, next season I will do this and this and this. If I don't get it, let's talk again. And if I do get it, let's talk again."
Fine. Okay, I think that's fair enough. So, moving on, I guess, to some of the other fixtures, and I think this is a specific one that Josh, you want to comment on. Arsenal 3, Everton 2. Is this the turning point? Has Arteta? Is Arteta turning things around for Arsenal? We've got obviously Saka there. Like, what are your thoughts as Arsenal fan right now? Can Arsenal push on for top 4 even? What do you think?
I think, like I said to you off camera one time, at the minute you just got to focus on winning. Arsenal. I mean, even non-fans. I think you guys watched a couple of games at my house. I saw some other pundits. Like, everyone was basically saying how unlucky they were in a lot of their games not to win.
That was a handball.
I think in one game, was it Burnley? We just didn't play well at all, and we deserved to. To be honest, that was probably the only game I would say we deserved to lose. Other than that, everybody, it seems, can see what Arteta is doing. The improvements. Normally, it takes a while for you to see improvements all around. When you're able to improve players like Mustafi, who like a lot of Arsenal fans completely wrote off, to be honest. Not just Arsenal fans. Let's be honest. Gary Neville hasn't said a positive thing about Mustafi. Like, I don't think you'd be able to pay him to say something nice about Mustafi. Like, I don't know. He has an agenda against him. Maybe because he was there when he was at Valencia.
Well, to be fair, I think half of the time he's getting paid to not say nice things because they want to be a little bit controversial nowadays.
They got to. Especially, I mean, Graham Souness. I wonder how much they're telling him to say about Pogba. But anyway,
Keane. I think Roy Keane is someone is like I think if Roy Keane was manager of United, Paul Pogba would have been hung. He's really nasty to him.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
But anyway, I know Arteta. He said something interesting. He basically was alerting to the fact that if players had it in them to do certain jobs, so they basically Aubameyang got a man of the match performance, and the commentator asked Arteta, and he was saying, like, how I know Aubameyang scored some great goals, but how good was his defensive work? And Arteta said to him when he first came to the club, he was wondering if Aubameyang mentally and physically could do the job. So physically, like as in he had the fitness to do it, and then mentally, does he want to do it or not? You know what I mean? And so he found out that he was capable physically, and then he wants to do it too. So he was saying he's our best player. He's our most vital player for that reason. He's our best goal scorer, but he's willing to do the dirty work too. So
can I just quickly ask, what the hell's happened to VAR?
What do you mean?
Does nothing get reviewed anymore?
What?
Like, there was just now a handball appeal. It just got waived on. No one checked it. It never got checked, and then Salah just got pulled down in the box, and even all the West Ham players almost gasped and stopped playing. And then he just played on, and it didn't get checked.
VAR seems to have. Well, we might actually talk about that actually. So before I quickly sort of go into Rasmus as I think I was asking a question actually in the comments. Let's say your team signs a striker the striker does well and scores 14 goals, and then he joins another team which is not an arch rival and plays against you. What can he possibly do to make you start abusing him? I think is the question. So there was an incident which happened last week, which to this day baffles me. What can cause someone to do that, which is the reason behind my question?
Yeah.
Does anyone get the question?
I didn't hear that.
So let's say your team signs a striker. The striker does well and scores 14 goals, and then he joins another team, which is not an arch rival and plays against you. Okay. Yeah. What can he possibly do to make you start abusing him? Mourinho, there was an incident which happened last week, which to this day baffles me. What can cause someone to do that, which is the reason behind my question?
Who was the player?
Yeah, that is the question. Who is the player? Was it Gallo? Yeah, that's not what the player is. But as what I would say is that, like, unless that player, unless it was like a Adebayor situation where the guy obviously runs halfway to the pitch and slides, then maybe you could understand why the fans would be abusing him. I mean, that still for me is one of the greatest celebrations ever. So if only because it was against Arsenal, but just the way he took it was just unbelievable. But I don't see, unless it's something as bad as that. I just don't see why you'd abuse him like that. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, I'm not one for that. I mean, I was a bit salty when Sterling went to Man City. I wouldn't think about abusing him. Like if he came back when he comes back to Anfield. I mean, when he came back, there was a few boos, but now when he comes to Anfield, there's not that much really. But yeah, it's just what happens, isn't it?
Okay, fair enough. So what's there's echo. Where's the echo coming from? Is it coming from me or?
I'm not sure. Anyway, so what's the next question?
Okay. Anyway,
I can make some echo, but yeah.
Well, is that coming from me?
As long as it's not being picked up from.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if there's much echo or background static, please. And what we might do is we'll just mute each of mics of people speaking, so that might potentially help. Yeah. Somali Flame also says Mourinho gets very toxic staying in a place for longer period. Don't seem staying 3 years in Spurs. That's a fair enough point. Lastly, but not least, I think it's just so obviously. From last point, Josh, is that you're happy with what Arteta is doing at Arsenal Football Club.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's sorry, guys. Liverpool just 3-2. Pretends to be shocked. Pretends to be shocked. Pretends to be shocked.
Guys.
Anyway, I just want to say that.
To be fair, it's ridiculous, man. We should have had 2 penalties.
It's 3-2 so everyone who's watching. It's 3-2 to Liverpool. It's 3-2. It says 2-2 on the thing there, but it will soon be made to 3-2. To everyone who's a Man United fan, this is who scored the third goal.
Mane.
Okay.
It's just it's been idiocy, man. It really has. The referee hasn't just. I think he's forgot what a whistle is. It's just absolute idiocy, man. It really has been.
Salah scores and then Mane scores then. So, right. Well, I guess no one's getting any 6 points from the defenders in fantasy football, though. Rasmus, just to follow up, and we'll move on to we'll just quickly move on to Champions League, because I'm aware of the time actually. There was an incident which happened last week, which to this date baffles me. What can cause? Sorry, it was Musa Marega, the Porto striker, who walked off the pitch. He played for Vitória and scored 14 goals for them, and then they raced his chance against him right from the beginning. Oh, come on.
Oh, right.
Okay. I think I saw that actually a bit. I'm like, that's just.
I think, Oh, so I didn't know the background to that. That makes it even worse.
It does, exactly. Yeah.
It's like Arsenal sold Iwobi, right? And Iwobi's like, he's a good player. He was never going to be like unreal. You know what I mean? But he worked very hard for us, and scored some goals, got assists. When he played against Everton, we pretty much gave him a standing ovation when he left the pitch. And the guy said 14 goals. That guy was probably top goal scorer that season for his team. I don't even know who Vitória are. So those, I don't even know, man. I don't know anymore. Just any excuse to do stuff like that nowadays, because you can get away with it. It doesn't matter. Anyone can do that.
Just thugs. Just to be honest.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just thugs.
Thugs,
They can,
really.
you can get away with this. It doesn't matter.
That's it. I don't know.
Mentality. That's all it is.
I just. But okay, so just quickly, just because we just move on to the Champions League and just to give it your take. And we're obviously talking about Liverpool and seeing how Liverpool were doing. I just want your brief thoughts, guys, on Manchester United versus Watford. And do you think that with how Bruno Fernandes and how he fit in, do you think that United can potentially get top 4?
That was the best United performance that I've seen in a long, long time. That was
really.
Was it. I mean, yeah, that was it. Not just it through periods of the game, but generally throughout the entire game. United looked like they knew their roles, and they kind of stuck to the role, stuck to the guns throughout the game. Martial, just a man brimming with confidence at the moment. Just absolutely, that finish is going to do him no harm whatsoever.
That finish was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It's going to do that man no harm whatsoever. That, and it just looked like a performance that I can't really think. Last time I saw him, I thought to myself, okay, they actually look like a team now.
What do you think? What do you think, Joshy?
Yeah, I mean, Man United have been in need for a playmaker for a while. Without Pogba, their playmakers were Madder, who is good, but I would say his level is like FA Cup / Carabao Cup type of thing. You know what I mean? And Pereira, Pereira and Lingard, who the less said about the better. I don't really see Pereira getting back into the side now, especially if Pogba comes back. I couldn't really see him playing another game for Man United unless it's like FA Cup or something like that. Bruno Fernandes,
he's a G, isn't he?
I mean, I've watched him before. Those highlight videos that they always do on YouTube.
Yeah.
I saw him last season. I saw him this season. He's just a class act. Centre mid. Can do everything really. Pass, shoot, dribble, tackle. Sort of dirty tackle. I've seen him sort of break up the play a few times. Had that Jorginho style penalty that I hate Jorginho, but I love that style of penalty because it's really effective. And yeah, honestly, just it's literally what Man United needed. There's no 2 ways about it. I think Liverpool are about to get 4. Yeah.
Oh, for goodness sake, man! Stop with Liverpool update. Who scored it?
Mane again.
Oh, I captain Mane, so that's the only positive I have of that. So, but I'm still like,
he's a brilliant player.
For goodness sake, man! Oh man.
The thing is, we should.
I think Trent's got 3 assists. You know.
We should have had at least 2 penalties. I don't know where VAR has gone. I'm
gonna ban Liverpool talk from this podcast for the next Manchester United fans, though, because I don't none of this sympathy, none of this. Oh, we should have had you're 4-2 up at Anfield, and you're gonna win the Premier League, So there's not a lot of empathy coming from United fans.
All I'm saying is it's justified. It's justified. Like it should have been at least 4-2 anyway. That's all.
Have you guys seen the Don Wagner says 3-2 Liverpool? Moyes keeps up with modern United traditions at West Ham.
Hold on. What just happened? Did it get ruled out?
Okay, it's got ruled out, is it?
Offside.
Okay.
Yeah, Mane was offside.
That gets VAR. None of the penalty decisions do. It's just insane. I don't know what's happened.
It's annoying because I don't know if my captaincy. I would have gotten a good captaincy comeback from that. Anyway, Rasmus, have you seen this last time's video message Lingard and Pereira?
No, it's fake. It's fake.
It's fake. Apparently, it's fake. It's fake. Rasmus say it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake.
It's about some other player. I can't remember who, but anyway.
Shawnee, Josh, last point about Manchester United. Do you think he can get top 4 for United, Ollie?
I think you will. I think it's important that you do.
I believe he said Josh.
I thought you said Shawnee. Sorry.
Joking, go on. You can answer.
Go on.
No, you carry on, man. No. Like, I honestly thought you said Shawnee.
Okay, Josh, you go on. You got the floor. You got the floor now. Come on.
I think it's going to be tough. It's too early to say anything. There's so many sides that are in that top 4 run right now. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, this game is incredible. I know you were doing the podcast, but this game is insane.
Well, West Ham equalised.
No, they should have though. Anyway, Sheffield are there, Wolves are there, Arsenal, Tottenham, United. There's so many teams right now. Like, I think speaking now about top 4, you got to wait a few, like 5 more matches or something to get engaged. Wait till people start sort of dropping points, so to see what people are made of.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
If I go biased, it's because this game is incredible. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, we're going to park obviously the Premier League game to the side. I would look at the other games of them, but I think it would be best to focus the main of the podcast on doing a brief Champions League and Europa League review, and then previewing again with the information we have now the upcoming Champions League and Europa League games. So without further ado, so this is our next segment. We're going to be doing our Champions League and Europa League preview. And if you just give me 2 seconds, I will just get up the still on the BBC page. Obviously, the results from the previous week of the Champions League, and there are a few big ones. And I think obviously I think the best for me, this one to start off with, is obviously the Atletico Liverpool results. So I think a lot of people were going into this game thinking that Atletico Madrid were going to be spanked. Basically, they're going to be spanked, and they managed with Diego Simeone's tactics. They managed to get the results. Shawnee, obviously being a Liverpool fan here, what did you think about the performance? What did you think about how Liverpool played? What went wrong, etc.?
Yeah, I think it would have almost been more beneficial for us to not have a winter break, because we clearly sort of knocked off our routine a little bit. It doesn't look like the same Liverpool before the break than what we're looking at like after the break. That 2 weeks, I don't know what they were doing in those 2 weeks, but it's just throwing us off a little bit. But I think we'll come back. Like, quality doesn't just disappear. We're still an absolute quality team. We're showing here at West Ham today as well that we're still here to perform the goods. It's just that Atletico also did a pretty good job. Even though it was frustrating, even for a neutral to watch, they must have been thinking to themselves, for goodness sakes, man, they go into tackle super hard, and then if Liverpool do the same, they go down like they've been shot. It's just so tough to watch. But you have to expect that. You go there, you have to expect them. Yeah. They're probably not going to water the grass. They're going to pull all the dirty, filthy mud tricks out of the bag that they can possibly do to anything to put into their advantage, because they're not good at football. So it's just one of them things where I even said beforehand that I still think we need to treat this with caution, because there is quality in the team that can damage you, that can hurt you. I was expecting Liverpool to get an away goal. I got to admit, I was expecting us to score. Just didn't happen on the day, and we're just in a position again where we have to come from behind at Anfield to get through again. Do you think? And I was speaking to someone about this on another podcast. Do you think that there was an element that Klopp actually got his tactics wrong? Because yes, I accept, and I think we all accept that Atletico Madrid was against. So Rasmus says, any comment on Zlatan Ibrahimovic's disallowed goal was against Fiorentina? I have to have a look at that. It was ruled out for handball. I didn't actually watch it, unfortunately, but I'll have to have a look at that. Post link in the description, or I'll type on it. I was having a conversation with a fan about this, and the reality is that Liverpool didn't have a shot on target. They didn't have a shot on target, and yes, Atletico Madrid played dirtily, but they still don't have a shot on target, and that there is an element where some of that falls on the coach. And for me,
you could see that Robertson and Arnold crossing, it just wasn't working. It was off, and that Atletico Madrid were more vulnerable down the center. So the question is, why did he not, for example, bring on Ox, for example, or Keita, earlier on to just sort of drive the middle, score from outside the box, and instead bring on someone like Origi, for example? I mean, I don't know. I think Klopp didn't get his tactics right there. What do you think about that, guys?
Yeah, you just mentioned it there. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, cool.
Go on.
I was just going to, like you said there, Trent, Robbo, not the best of games. Crosses going wayward all over the show, too close to the keeper. Couldn't clear their first man. So if some more of them crosses had a bit of quality to them, we might be sitting here saying 2-1 away. It's a good result. Should we have changed it up a little bit? I mean, we could have done, but you have to put trust in your game plan and just go right. Our game plan is to get. You could clearly see that they wanted it wide. We didn't want to play through the middle because even when there wasn't an opportunity to play through the wide, we still were. So we really, really wanted to force that width on the field, but it just wasn't. It didn't work out. It worked out purely because we were getting them crosses in. We were making space out on wide. It's just that the quality wasn't there to get either past the first man or was going too close to the keeper. On another day, it might be completely different. But once again, I don't know whether you can blame Klopp for the amount of failed crosses that were going into the box, because there was a lot. And fair enough. Maybe at 70 minutes, you go, damn, these crosses aren't working. We're going to have to try something else. I'm going to have to try and switch it up a little bit. You could say that, but I guess Klopp is just one of those players that thinks to himself, right, let's just stick to the game plan. This is what we practice. This is what we know. Let's just see if we can push through and get an equalizer or a winner or whatnot.
Rasmus saying, answer to your question, I've just actually watched the Zlatan disallowed goal, and it's under the letter of the law now. It's a handball. He doesn't notice it, but it hits off his upper arm. It ricochets to his foot, and then he scores the goal from that. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's a handball. Samani Flame also says away goals super important in CL. Liverpool in dangerous waters for the return leg. And I guess, and before we move on to next, I think want to talk about big one to talk about. Can Liverpool recover this in the return leg? Surely, Josh.
Yeah, I think Atletico were celebrating 1-0 as if they'd won the whole tie. I understand beating Liverpool was good and Liverpool not scoring, but if I'm honest, Atletico needed 2 or 3 unanswered for them to even think about celebrating that game as if it was a win. I have no doubt at all that Liverpool are going to smash them at Anfield. Look at the game we just saw now. Liverpool, I know Sean was saying Liverpool had a lot of attempts, but you still got to bury a lot of those. That just, especially Firmino, missed quite a few. Not sharp. Some of the offside decisions, Liverpool weren't very sharp. In the Champions League, you gotta bury those, and you gotta be very more alert than you are in the Premier League, because we're talking about the best teams in the world, and I have no doubt that Liverpool will win at Anfield because they just, look at this game, 3-2, 2-1 down, and everyone knew it was going to happen, and everyone knows what's going to happen at Anfield now. So congratulations, Atletico, for ending Liverpool's unbeaten run. But
what do you mean? They didn't end. What do you mean?
Unbeaten run where? In total. So since Napoli, they haven't lost. Apart from Carabao Cup, that doesn't count. That was under nines they were using.
Okay, we're kind of it's competitions, isn't it? So obviously it counts, doesn't it? So, but
under nines anyway. So yeah, congratulations, Atletico. You can put that on your resume. You beat Liverpool. But yeah, Anfield's a different kettle of fish. I think it could be a pasting. They're definitely going to get one goal early. I think definitely going to get one goal early because it's an intimidating place.
Mm.
So I'm sure the Mestalla was as well intimidating place. But you're dealing with the cop end, and it's going to be beautiful to watch. Just Atletico being spanked is what I'm trying to say.
There's a lot of Atletico. There's a lot of Atletico hate. I can sense.
Just facts, isn't it? It's just facts.
Let's move on then quickly to review what I thought was. Is it a surprise? Is it not a surprise? I don't know. And that is Borussia Dortmund versus PSG. Borussia Dortmund 2-1. I took in we as in me and Joshi were very much in the lens of like because of Dortmund's bad defense that this PSG could do this, but Dortmund put off a very, very good performance. They were solid at the back relatively, and Erling Haaland turned up with 2 important Gs. PSG looked like they didn't have many answers really, and that's with Mbappe and obviously Neymar on the field. What are you surprised that Dortmund won? And do you think PSG are in danger of now exiting the CL again at the round of 16?
I mean, I predicted that they would win, so I wasn't surprised because Borussia Dortmund is my dark horse. I think it's going to be them in the final. So like I don't know when. I understand that one result that sort of went against them. They can learn. They can learn from that, I wasn't surprised. I think they're a quality team. Haaland by the transfer window. Neymar on the score sheet. So going to Paris Saint-Germain, they still could. You never know. Paris Saint-Germain might be their normal self and just and all of a sudden.
When was the last time PSG were their normal selves in the CL? In a CL knockout stage. When was the last time they were their normal selves? That's the problem. When was the last time?
Round of 16 sometime.
Yeah.
Everyone's speechless. They don't know when.
Can I
their normal self?
Their normal self is League One level.
That Farmers League, yeah.
Haaland is the first teenager to score 10 Champions League goals in a single campaign. He scored 39 goals in just 28 games this season. He scored on his Dortmund debut, obviously.
Yeah.
In three different competitions. He's the quickest player ever to reach 10 Champions League goals in 7 games.
Yeah.
It's
at what age?
What? No, he's a teenager.
Oh,
yeah, he's only 19.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, as I said it last night, I was like, everyone's hyping Mbappe, but you know what I mean? Like, and people are hyping Haaland, but I mean, it's not good enough to just do it for one season. The greats do it consistently every season, or at least build things up. You know what I mean? So if Mbappe can only perform in the Uber Eats League, in the in the BTEC Turkish league, frankly, I think the Turkish league is more competitive than the French league, to be honest. So it's the Ligue 1 is a BTEC Turkish Super League, man. That's what it is. Then what can you say? If he's going to develop, if he's going to be world class, he either has to deliver regularly in the CL, or he has to leave PSG for a bigger club, like a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, or even a Liverpool at this stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go on. Oh, sorry. Vaz will say so. Yes, it was a big surprise because, as you said, Dortmund has a horrible defense this season. That for me is the big shock. Is that I thought Dortmund were going to leak goals. Didn't you think that, Joshi? Do you not think that Dortmund were going to leak goals?
I believe I said it was going to be a draw.
Okay.
I didn't think PSG were going to beat them at the yellow. I don't know what the stadium's called now. Signal Iduna Park or whatever something like that. But Yeah, both defenses are a bit. I thought PSG's defense was slightly better. Obviously, they got improvements like Idrissa Gueye and not Kempembe. Who do they have?
Zagadou.
Marquinhos.
Yeah,
Marquinhos and someone else. Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
And like you said, Zagadou, exactly. That's all I think when at Dortmund's defense. Like when I think of their defense, Zagadou. But they weren't that bad, honestly. Like PSG probably have one of the best attacks in the world. They scored lots of goals in the campaign. They put 2 past Madrid twice, I think. Was it 3 on the other occasion? Only undefeated team in the group stages. Decent group, not the worst group. Genk was it Genk? Genk, yeah, they were good. Real Madrid and then another team. So Dortmund, man. I said about Dortmund basically just outscoring opponents, and I mean that's what they did here. I know PSG got the away goal, but you've got to think that Dortmund are going to get at least one away goal against at PSG, no?
Yeah.
At least.
This is the thing.
I think it's such a fascinating tie. I'm just glad that we all, we got to kind of watch bits and bobs of it while we were watching the bloody. I don't even know. I don't think we can call that football. What we watched. I would say rugby is closer. You know, in rugby where you kick it to the other opponent, they catch it, then you set up, you kick it back. It was kind of like that from Atletico. Catch it, kick it back, game to the.
We'll into the Atletico Madrid talk because that's fair enough. But I guess before we move on to just looking at the other two games and then going on to actually preview these upcoming games because there won't be a lot to say about some of them. Will PSG not go? Will PSG be knocked out? Will they be knocked out? Because quite frankly, as Josh has already sort of alluded to, Dortmund can very much score. They can very much score, and if they get the first goal, much like what happened with United last season, where United got a quick goal in the first, I think, 10, 15 minutes, and suddenly everyone starts to panic. Is this PSG out of the Champions League? And then by that instance, are they basically the biggest bottle jobs in the history of European football? I might post a video on it because I can't remember a team that had so much money invested in it, has got so many good players, and yet I think it must be at least 4 successive seasons they've got knocked out of the last round of 16, the last 4 attempts.
Yeah.
And City, no, I know people say City, but City did have improved in their Champions League campaigns, and 2, most importantly, they never spent 200 million on one player, on one world-class player. They spent it on full-backs and stuff like that. You bought £200 million from Neymar to win the Champions League, the CL. That's why you bought him, and you're not able to get past the round of 16. Yet Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United, a team with Tahith Chong, and schoolboys can still get past your team. No, I'm sorry. So what do you guys think before we quickly move on?
Yeah, I don't know. Paris Saint-Germain could still get through. Neymar, the guy that they spent a lot of money on, did get the away goal. That could be the clincher. That could be the decider.
They get the away goal. That's fair enough.
Yeah. So, yeah, they could still make it through, and then it's not going to be an issue. But I don't know. I think just Dortmund are gonna beat them. Does that mean they're a terrible team, or they're just a farmers league team? And that's up to people to decide. It's still, I'd rather not meet Paris Saint-Germain in the knockout stages because they could turn up and they've got a lot of quality up front. I don't know. Obviously, City have got better, but they're in a similar ship, aren't they? They've also, they've spent that much money that they're actually fair play rules are telling us that they can't play for the next 2 years. That's how much money City have spent. So and they haven't got close to Champions League either. Well, obviously did they get knocked out in the semi-finals by Tottenham last season?
No, that was the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals. Okay,
yeah.
quarterfinals.
The furthest they've been is the semi-finals, and they got knocked out by Real Madrid, and that was when Pellegrini was manager.
Yeah.
So PSG have never got to a Champions League semi-final.
Okay, so yeah, similar. I guess similar shit from City then. Just two quality teams that just don't do well in the Champions League. I mean, yeah, it's one of them where you have to like just say, listen, you don't want to come across them because they've got a lot of quality to hurt you, but they're not the team to get into the Champions League final. It's just just as simple as that.
Fair enough. Okay, so let's just quickly move on back to obviously the other Champions League games. This is one I think surprised a lot of people. Josh, if you can mute your mic for 2 seconds. This is one I think that surprised a lot of people. Atalanta 4, Valencia 1.
Yep.
Atalanta 4, Valencia 1.
I was ridiculing Atalanta.
I know you were. I thought it was close, but so I think your Atalanta apology, Shawnee. I think your Atalanta very, very big apology. Did you expect this?
No, I didn't at all. Like full credit to Atalanta. If it's an apology, then yeah, that was huge amount of doubt coming from my side. Really did think that Valencia was a far better and more quality in the team. So very well done to Atalanta. Definitely ate my words. Hats off. Congratulations. I seriously doubt that Valencia can respond to that at home if Atalanta get an away goal. I think that's pretty much done and dusted then, isn't it?
Fair enough. I mean, Joshy, thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
Atalanta, Valencia.
Well, yeah, I just said Atletico, Atlanta, they the highest scoring Serie A side last season. So they have the potential to do that, but I thought it was just going to be a close affair. I wasn't really sure of the score. They just proved what they can do. Ilicic is quite an underrated player, probably because he does play for Atalanta. But he's very, very good, like clinical finisher. And then Gomez, who I know a lot of teams will kind of, I think maybe he's even linked with Man United. I can't even remember. Alejandro Gomez, and he's got ice as well. He's got ice in his veins. He's a really good player. Their defense isn't the best, but their midfield and attack is very, very good. I'd be surprised. Like, I mean, if this type of team comes up against like a City, I know they came from the same group, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's the type of team that would trouble cities, that would trouble PSGs, if that makes sense.
And as
Rasmus
says, just said, Atalanta in their debut season in the Champions League and are doing this as well. So fair play to them. Like they're essentially in the let's be real, they're essentially in the Champions League quarter. They're probably the first team. Cause I don't see Valencia overturning this, which just shows the quality of the Liga. But anyway, so they're essentially through to the Champions League quarter final. This is their debut season in the Champions League. So fair play to them.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. Yeah.
Go on. Do you have a last point, Josh? Sorry.
No.
Okay. Right. Okay. Moving on. So Atalanta, fair play to them. I suspect that tie is basically over because Valencia were just were trash. Although they did have two of their centre backs injured, so that probably didn't help. Moving on to the last game of last week, and that was Tottenham 0, Leipzig 1 from a penalty. It doesn't really tell the story, does it? Because for long periods, Leipzig dominated Spurs and a lot of chances.
It's true.
Again, what could Spurs do here? Is this unfair to them? Like, what is this Spurs' last hurrah almost? So what do you think, guys? It's a very difficult one to analyze, I think.
Don't forget Leipzig. doing very, very well in the Bundesliga.
They are.
And Tottenham, maybe not so much in the Premiership. Difference in quality there. I can't remember what my. I don't think it was this. So Leipzig got an away goal. It's going to be difficult for Tottenham now. Full credit to Leipzig. Just a difference in quality. Like I say, for large periods of the game, Leipzig were fantastic. So just a deserved win, I think. Tottenham really have to turn up and just try and turn it around, which I don't know whether they're capable of, because just they don't look the same if they don't have Son or Kane on the team.
Yeah.
They're just kind of the life force of the team right now, and if they're not there, it's going to be game.
What do you think, Joshy?
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's the difference there. People say without Kane, they suck. And then when Kane goes, Son steps up. But there's no arguments when both of them aren't there. There's nothing else in the team. I mean, Eriksen arguably was the third player who could do that, who could just turn it on and off and change a game. I don't think. Yeah. I mean, Dele Alli, he gets taken off, as a first substitution. Yeah. Like when you're trying to win a game, I just don't think Mourinho and Dele Alli get on.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, I could see Dele Alli leaving in the time that Mourinho's there.
Well, didn't he post? I remember he posted a Twitter post. I mean, a while back.
I saw that.
He posted a Twitter post a while back, about how Mourinho was a sort of manager. So I do wonder whether maybe there's an element of that, so where it's like, if that's what you think of me, then because Mourinho is very much based on trust. He's always been a trust-based manager where he'll always pick certain players, just because they'll do a job for him. And he trusts them. He was like that at United as well. That's why he'd always pick Fellaini all the time, because he trusted Fellaini, so I think that maybe he doesn't trust Dele Alli. And when you've essentially lost your trinity in Eriksen, Son and Kane, what are Spurs left with? Which is a shame, because it's a shame for them to sort of be like this, but I agree with a lot of you. I just can't see how. I think Mourinho's certainly past it when it comes to his tactical knowings. So unless they perform a miracle and Mourinho starts playing attacking football instead of defensive football, he actually just goes for it. Because to be honest, in the last 20 minutes or so, when Tottenham went for it, they were actually causing Leipzig problems.
Yeah.
But why leave it to the last 20 minutes to actually start going to win a game of football and you're at home?
True.
So I'm hoping that because the leg is away from home, he needs to just say, just go out, guys, and go and win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rasmus says, Josie and I don't get along. Really? He was full of praising of Ali. He was massaging his ego when he joined. Hard to believe that Ali and Josie's relationship turned sour so quickly. I'm not surprised. I'm sure he did the same thing with Pogba when he came to Manchester United. And, Ali's just basically going to be Tottenham's new Paul Pogba in a way, where after about a season or so, he'll go to Daniel Levy, sell this guy. That's just the impression that I get. Although obviously he's already got rid of Eriksen. But we'll see what happens. Right, quickly moving on. So because we still got a few games to talk about, and we're actually gonna now actually preview the four, I guess, just brief previews. So because we've already done. So we've already done our previews for these games in our previous videos, but I just want to preview some key games here. Let me just get this up here. Sorry. Chelsea, obviously, Bayern Munich, Napoli, Barcelona, Lyon, Juventus, which is probably going to be about a second talk, and Real Madrid, Manchester City. So I think we'll start with the big one actually first, and that's Real Madrid and Manchester City. Eden Hazard has been confirmed to be out for the next 3 months, so he's not going to play. Josh, he says Eden Hazard is trash. Guys, where do you see this game going? Where do you see this game going? Real Madrid versus Manchester City.
City are winning. I had my doubts earlier. I think City got this. Obviously, Real Madrid are more experienced, but unless Bale just has a masterclass, Bale Benzema masterclass. I just don't see it. City, like I know people were talking about City's defense, but honestly, since Laporte's come back, they've actually looked really solid. I won't lie. Laporte and Fernandinho in defense. Who thought that would be a partnership? And they look really, really good together. Rodri as a holding midfielder looks very good. The only thing I would say is they haven't been peppering teams as much as they used to. They haven't been putting 3-4 goals past teams. Like they only got a narrow win against I forgot who it was now. Leicester. And they're not as clinical as from what I've seen. Aguero missed a pen. He's not been scoring a lot recently.
Apparently, they're saying that Ederson is the best penalty taker. And people thought but people thought that Guardiola was joking, and he wasn't joking. So people saying, well, if Ederson is the best penalty taker, then get him to take the penalties. That's what people because I think people said, well, if he takes the penalties, if obviously they miss the penalty, then Ederson is obviously out of his goal and has to come back. My reasoning would be if he's your best penalty taker, you bet he's going to score the penalties anyway. And if he doesn't, just put Kyle Walker back. So he's been there before. Just put him to him back and it's fine. Simple as that. So, but at the end of the day, if he's your best penalty taker, then he's your best penalty taker.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because wouldn't you think someone like De Bruyne would be an amazing penalty taker?
Well, this is coming from Pep Guardiola's mouth. He's saying Ederson is their best penalty taker. So for me, it doesn't make sense. Put your best penalty taker on get them to take penalties.
Yeah,
because you've already had Sterling has taken, Aguero has taken. I think
Gundogan. Well, didn't he used to take though?
Gundogan, yeah, but they've all missed their penalties. So if Ederson is your best penalty taker, especially if it comes to because City might be in a situation like they were with Tottenham last season where they get a penalty at the Bernabeu and that is their crucial away goal and they end up missing it because they can't take the penalties. They can't have a repeat of that, especially if they're going to get banned. And that's the key thing here is that City could potentially be banned for the next 2 seasons. This is City's last chance for 2 seasons potentially winning the Champions League.
It's true.
They can't afford to drop and have any hiccups, So I think that's one reason why I think that City will win this game. They'll dominate Real Madrid potentially because, they know potentially that this might be it, and so they'll go for it. That's just how I see it anyway.
Yeah, City. That's my take on this entire game here. Is exactly that? Is exactly City have this is it for them for the next 2 years? Potentially. And Real Madrid, are still going for the for the La Liga. So City really, I think themselves right. The Premiership is potentially over in 4 games' time. This is going to be our This is going to for the fans to say, what have we achieved this season? Yes, we've got the Champions League. Because what else can they say? I mean, are they're still in the FA Cup? Are
they? Who? Sorry, who?
City.
City's on the FA Cup. Yeah,
and the Carabao Cup.
On the Cup, yes, they've got a final. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get to the end of the season just say, oh yeah, but we won the Carabao Cup. Just you know,
can't, but it looks like they might. Yeah. So you don't know.
For a team of the quality of City, you can't like Carabao Cup. I don't even look for the fixtures of the Carabao Cup anymore. It's one of them cups where I'm just like, just leave the competition.
Waste of time.
Yeah.
Samani Flame says, good point. Madrid recent form has not been good either. That is true. You know, if you're losing to Levante 1-0, I'm sorry, Levante who were come on, let's be real. And especially if Hazard's been injured, I think that Zinedine Zidane has got to do something because I that City will have most of the ball at the Bernabeu. They're going to have the ball, a lot of the ball. They're not going to give Real Madrid the ball. So they're going to hold the midfield. So, if Real Madrid don't have the ball, what is it that they can do aside from trying to counter-attack? But then you have like Benzema, who, while he's a good finisher, doesn't particularly have a lot of pace. So nor do I feel their fullbacks have any pace in Carvalho and Marcelo if he's going to play those two. So we'll see. We'll see. Quickly moving on, because we've still got the Europa League to do. I might look at that down. But anyway, Chelsea versus Bayern Munich. Lampard inviting, but is this Chelsea? Obviously have obviously improved. Well, have they improved? I don't know. Or is it that top Spurs were so bad? What do you guys think? Do you think that the win at the weekend to Spurs is a sign that Chelsea have a chance? Or was it a smoke in the grass and actually Bayern Munich might actually come and basically sacrifice Chelsea at Stamford Bridge like they did Spurs as well?
I don't know. Because
there could be a sacrifice. Because, I mean, you could argue Bayern were lucky. I think Pernadonu in the we should talk about that actually, but it's just Champions League, so I otherwise would have talked about that because they just won 3-2 against a relegation fighting team. But you know, let's get back to it. Do you think that this could be a baptism by Bayern at Stamford Bridge to Chelsea, guys?
I don't know. Like, I just picture what Bayern did to Arsenal that season. That's how I picture that. Was it 9-2 over 2 legs? Or 7-1? I can't even remember. It's like it brings back bad memories, so I try not to think about it.
It was 10-1 over aggregate, just in case we want to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I think it could be similar. Like what Serge Gnabry did to Spurs at Spurs.
Sorry to interrupt you, Josh. Somali claims the Chelsea fan actually says if Chelsea turns up, it's going to be a great game. Giroud must start.
No.
What Josh, do you want to respond to that?
Don't get delusional, whoever that is. Don't think that Lampard in his first season is going to even go anywhere near Bayern Munich. Let's get that straight. Bayern Munich, they don't. I can't remember the last time they got out of the round of 16. It must have been a very long time ago. Wait, are we in the round of 16 or 30?
This is round of 16, yeah.
Okay, I was getting confused.
Who did Liverpool play in the quarterfinals last year? Was it
Bayern?
Bayern?
It was Bayern.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, okay.
But for the life of me, I can't remember the last time that Bayern ever got knocked out in a round of 16. You know what I mean? It must be a very long time. And come on, man, Bayern. As much as they might bottle it later on in a competition. They might face someone that they don't want to. To be honest, if they didn't face Liverpool that season in the quarters, they could have got to the final, They could have got to the final because look at Liverpool's run after Bayern Munich. It wasn't awful. I know they had, before Bayern, I can't remember who it was, and then they had Barcelona. But Barcelona went amazing. I mean, they got smacked by Liverpool at Anfield. So I don't know, man. I think this could be a pasting. Sorry, Chelsea fans.
Rasmus says correcting me. He's saying it was 10-2 on aggregate, and Somali Flame says Chelsea ain't Arsenal. Lol. You're right about that, Somali Flame. Chelsea aren't Arsenal. However, you do have to look at the facts in that Chelsea's home record this season has not been good. And while they did beat Spurs over the weekend, you just got to look at where Spurs are and the fact that they were playing with no recognized centre forward, frankly, and Jose Mourinho's tactics. You're going to be playing against a Bayern Munich. He's going to be going out to attack and score, and you hope that Lewandowski is actually going to turn up in a CL a knockout stage. If he doesn't, then if Chelsea get knocked out, right? Sorry, if Bayern get knocked out by Chelsea and Lewandowski doesn't score, I'm sorry, no one can ever tell me that Lewandowski is world class. Okay, someone playing. Okay, fine. he can't be world class if he can't knock out this Chelsea side and score goals. And if they get knocked out and he doesn't bring them over, I'm sorry, Lewandowski he's not a world class player. I'm sorry. That's just it. Is that a reasonable thing to make? Is that reasonable? Surely that must be reasonable, because it must be. You can't just be, because then he's just like a Bundesliga, merchant. It's just like, okay, I'll score goals in the Bundesliga for fun, great. When it comes to the World Cup, the Euros, or the Champions League, big competitions, I'll just go absent. That's what you got to turn up in at least one of them. Like Messi, fair enough, he hasn't played well for his country, or well, obviously he hasn't played well, but you know what I mean. But at least he took Argentina to a final. So I don't know. Lewandowski's got to do more for me.
Yeah, I think it's also there's a lot of focus on him in the Champions League. A lot of managers like Chelsea, like Lampard, will be saying to his defence, "Look, listen, we've got to keep this man quiet because we know his quality." So that makes it a lot harder in the Champions League. There will be teams doing exactly the same in the Bundesliga, but there's probably not enough quality in the Bundesliga to actually keep him quiet. That's probably why there's a lot more goals for him being scored in the Bundesliga than what there is in the Champions League. Just purely because there's a lot of emphasis on defenders to keep him quiet. So that's probably why there's maybe a lack of goal scoring opportunities or goals for him in the Champions League. I can't really think of any time where he's missed sitters or he hasn't like played well. So like I don't know, like we'll see though. It's one of them things that if you're a world class player, it doesn't really matter what competition you're in.
Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. But I don't know, man. It's like, for example, if Haaland keeps up what he's doing for the next 10 years, but he stays at Dortmund, but they can't get past they can't get into like a final or something, then would he not be world class?
If Haaland keeps 2 years, Yeah,
but you know what I mean? Would he not be world class?
Well, if Haaland got
he continues his scoring record, because Lewandowski's scoring record is unbelievable. I know a lot of them have been in the Bundesliga, but he does score in the Champions League too. I know.
A group stage.
Maybe.
Group stage.
Yeah, we just got to see, don't we? I mean, he's not getting any younger, is he?
Yeah, because the reality is that like people are like he hasn't actually won a Champions League. He hasn't. Like his closest to winning the Champions League was actually Sean, you were wrong actually. You were wrong. I've just checked it because Rasmus A was actually correcting me. Bayern were knocked out of the round of 16 last year. They played Liverpool in the round of 16 last year.
Was it? No way.
So last year. And it was 0-0, remember, at obviously Anfield, and then they went to Bayern and they won 3-1. And if I recall, Lewandowski was playing.
Okay. No, what was I wrong about?
So you said
it was me.
Oh, was it you? Oh, sorry. Someone.
He just wanted to say you were wrong, Sean.
Someone said that when was this time Bayern had been knocked out to the round of 16. So basically that was last year, because Liverpool knocked Bayern out the round of 16 last year for them. And Lewandowski, as far as I'm aware, was playing in that thing. So Rasmus does say I can remember him actually busting it against Real Madrid in those 3 consecutive Champions League wins, which is true. And Smiley Films, I think Chelsea and Bayern is closer game than many people think. I think as Joshy said, it's one of those we'll see. We'll see. Is that not the case? We'll see.
Yeah, we're just got to see, man. We're going to see. But on back to the original point, Chelsea are going to get spanked.
Right. Right. Let's quickly last two, and then instead of I'll probably just look at the Europa League results as opposed to necessarily we'll just have a general Europa League discussion. Let's put it that way, so we don't go on for too long. So Napoli, Barcelona. And what do you guys think? Because initially I thought this was actually, I would have given this to Barcelona initially. But the more that I think about it, especially with, Barcelona's lack of potency up front and the line of Messi, and also the fact that Napoli, although they are where they are, and someone pointed out to me this week that Napoli are almost like United in the way where they're losing matches against, bottom teams, dropping points. But then they're the only team to have beaten Lazio, Inter, and Juventus, all of the title-winning contenders in the league. It's been Napoli. So they seem to step it up in the big occasions. And obviously, they've beaten Liverpool as well. So they've beaten Liverpool, they've beaten these teams. So I don't necessarily think that this is going to be a foregone conclusion and people will say, because yes, they're not doing well in a Serie A where they should be, but they seem to make big occasions count. So maybe this might be closer than people think. What do you guys think?
Could be, yeah. I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know if it's maybe going to be as close as what most people think. If I can just sort of swap it around on its head, because Chelsea are coming back with a lot of quality. There's a lot of people that I enjoy watching in the Chelsea team right now. None of them have Champions League experience, so it's hard, and it's hard to say that. Oh yeah, this is going to be it. This is Chelsea are going to give them a good run for their money. Well, I don't know, it's going to be tough. It's a good job that they're at home first, actually. I think I'd have it that way around if I was to go for it. A lot of youngsters coming through. Is this Abraham's first Champions League campaign, or was he in there last year as well?
Wait, we're still talking about Chelsea?
Yeah.
Oh, so I thought we moved on to Napoli, Barcelona.
Oh, Napoli, Barcelona, my bad.
Yeah. I was sorry. I was like, wait, what's going on here? I was like, this is Abraham. So I'm just distracted. So sorry, but make your point, Sean. It's okay. What's your point?
So yeah, that was it. So it's maybe not. Maybe yeah. So I would have thought that that was it's going to be. It's maybe not. I think I saw a comment that said, it's not going to be. It's going to be closer than what most people think.
Oh yes, Money Flames comment. That's what you're responding to. Yeah, okay, fine. Okay. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So that. Just I don't know whether, because there's a lot of youngsters that I don't think have Champions League experience. So it's just going to be one of them times where it's just it's exciting, it's new. Is that going to pull you through a tie like this? I'm not too sure. I think Munich have a lot more better experience. But yeah, Napoli, Barcelona. Sorry about that.
Fine, fair enough. Rasmus does say Barca signing a Middlesbrough flop who cannot even play in Champions League says all about the state of their attacking options. Whereas Napoli obviously have Dries Mertens and Insigne still, right? If I'm correct. I haven't really watched Napoli much this season, I must confess. But what I do know is Gattuso is the manager. And you know Gattuso, big Gattuso will get Napoli pumped up for this Barcelona game. He will.
It's true.
He will. So they will think, you know what, guys, if we can get a few goals here, if we can put pressure on what is quite a brick defense in PK and whoever he gets paired up with, the only thing that's really saving, I think, is to Stegen, because he has been very, very good for Barcelona in goal. So he should be Germany's number one first choice. In my opinion. But I know that Joachim Löw will probably stick with Neuer because banter. I would say my score prediction for this would be probably 2-1 to Napoli. I think I'll give it to Napoli the win, but I think Barcelona will turn it around at the Nou Camp. Okay. What do you guys think
of the score, or how Germany?
I think I said that Napoli would win it. So their stadium's called now, but I think they'll win it. Napoli. Don't know if they'll win it. Barca are quite hard to defeat at home. Inter couldn't beat them there. So I think Napoli have got this. Napoli, they had a really rough start this season, but they got some winning form recently. I think they won their last 3 games. I think they're still in the Coppa del Rey, Coppa del Rey. Oh my goodness, Coppa Italia. And I'm sure that did they beat Inter? Did they beat Inter in the first leg? From what I remember.
Who, Napoli? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They did.
So could be another dark horse team.
Yeah.
People probably don't think they're a dark horse because they're like sort of very good and they beat Liverpool. But I would call them a dark horse, definitely. Don't sleep on Napoli if they get past Barcelona. And their defense is incredible as well. Bloody Manolas and Koulibaly, like Liverpool can score past them.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're now gonna say that who they got, Braithwaite can't play in the Champions League who's the forward they signed. So you've got Griezmann, obviously Messi. Both of them are not forwards. Ansu Fati. That's it. Isn't that it?
Yeah, I mean,
that's it. Who else is there really? So I'm like, what actually? And let me just take a deep in here because I think it's actually an important topic to address. And so watching is that what I don't understand is what is happening at the Barcelona academy. What is happening at the Barcelona academy? Because you look at other teams around Europe, even Real Madrid, and you're like, right, okay. They've got maybe 1 or 2 players in their academy ranks that are coming through, young players that they can go into the squad to sort of fill in some deficiencies. Yeah. You mean to tell me that Barcelona don't have anyone in their youth academy that they couldn't promote into the first team to fill that role?
Not sure. That's down to the manager, isn't it?
The manager, the club, the coaching. It's not just forwards though, but the whole It's like I say the same thing with City as well. When everyone was saying, "Oh, Laporte was injured," boo-hoo, and in my mind, I'm like, "So you mean you don't have anyone in your academy that can be promoted into that role?" Like, I'm fairly sure that if Liverpool had an injury crisis, Klopp wouldn't be like, "Oh, boo-hoo." He would go and get Curtis Jones or someone else, some sort of. Manchester United got Mason Greenwood, Brandon Williams. Arsenal, look at their young talent, sort of coming through. Real Madrid also, that they've got their fair share, Rodri and a few others. So what I don't understand is, because I felt for Leganés when they signed Braithwaite, because even though they're going down, he contributed to most of their goals. But the way I sort of saw it was like, why are Barcelona that club now? Because people are cussing City and PSG for spending tons of money. Bear in mind, Barcelona spent upwards of $500 million in only 2.5 seasons on players. Wow.
Yeah,
and yet they don't have anyone coming in for the academy. I don't get it that they can't fit. Like, this is Barcelona, the biggest club in the world, and yet you don't have anyone. I don't know. That's my mini rant. What do you guys think?
How many games have we talked about?
We've talked about quite a few. I think 10 almost. I think.
I mean, Barcelona. Yeah, they are winning in the La Liga. They've got.
They beat Eibar. Yeah, I could set that, but I mean, that's this is Napoli's going to be a different kettle of fish. You would
for sure. They just seem like they've lost 1 in 5 games. So it's not like they're in terrible form.
No.
Or have a lack of goals. They're obviously like smashing the goals in because they've got the biggest goal difference in La Liga at the minute. It just proves that what kind of standard we're holding Barcelona up at, because they've been so dominant over the past sort of 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years probably. That we're literally
dominant in La Liga, though. You mean, as opposed to Europe now, because they haven't won a CL for what must be now at least 6 years.
6 years, yeah, that's what I mean. But that's shocking, to us, because we're expecting Barcelona to be there. And that's the standard that I'm talking about. We're holding Barcelona at such a high standard that if they drop like they have now, and they're going through a bit of a blip, that's kind of where Barcelona are at. Everyone's
expects them to be the best season in and season out, and they're just going through a little bit of trouble. But only a little bit of trouble because they are still number one in the liga, and their form is still good. They're on 55 points, scored 33 goals, which is 2 points better off, and four goals better off than Madrid, their closest rivals. And Madrid aren't so great either. But
I sense the yawn there, Josh. Yeah, we'll try and wrap things up quickly.
Yeah.
Somali Flame says Barca Academy is biggest failure in football. Right. Okay. Briefly, and this is probably going to take 2 seconds because it's Juve versus Lyon. I think the only question here is this is going to take. Do Lyon?
How many goals?
Yeah, exactly. How many goals do Lyon even have a chance? Really, this should take a 2-second comment, to be honest, because I think this is a done deal. Shawnee, Josh,
you can't even debate, think how they would. Sometimes there's a dark horse or something, or they've got something about them, and there's nothing. Leon don't have anything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's over. Juve will probably get. I mean, the best they could hope for was maybe a draw. I don't see Lyon beating Juve at all, but a draw wouldn't be a bad score for them. And then they just try and draw it away, and then maybe push it extra time or something.
Yeah.
You never know. It's a Champions League. It's anything can happen over 2 legs.
It's true.
But this is Juve.
If Sarri can't get Juventus to beat Lyon over 2 legs, he should be sacked on the spot. It's as simple as that, really.
Yeah.
So, if you got the easiest. It was Atalanta. I want to add to Valencia potentially, but I'll put those 2 aside. For the remaining, you've got a Lyon team who are basically doing badly in a farmers league. So, at least Atalanta and Valencia are more and around 5th, 6th in their respective leagues, respectively. Lyon are I think mid-table in the farmers league, basically. So if Sarri can't get Juventus to win here, then I just think that's what do you say, really? That's just an absolute joke. Right, okay, so we're just going to round off here with a quick Europa League discussion. I don't want to go on to matches individually. Rasmus A says El Clasico's home next weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, so maybe watch along.
Inter and Juve as well.
Into Juve as well. Oh man, okay, we might be getting some tasty watch-alongs next weekend if I've got the time, because those would be very, very, very good. So yeah, we'll just round things up with a quick Europa League discussion. So I'll just get that here. On what are the key, games of the league and what people think will be coming into this space, into this from last week and then into this week. Obviously, I'm not going to go into all these teams because there's too much. I'm not going to talk about Manchester United as well because we've been there. I think for me, the 2 fixtures I think we should want to have a discussion about from last week and then going to next week were Getafe against Ajax, which I think was a very, very interesting win. Rangers against Sporting Braga, and actually Wolves versus Espanyol. And then we'll basically just quickly preview Arsenal United's coming games, and we'll do that. So, yeah, just quickly think on Getafe Ajax. Are you guys surprised that Getafe beat Ajax?
Yeah. I saw that score. I was confused. I thought it was a fake score or something.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You were just thinking, hang on a minute, is this PES or FIFA? So which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is getting score predictions? But
what was the final score?
2-0 to Getafe, man. 2-0 to Getafe against Ajax.
I wonder if once because it was unlucky. It was the last. It was the last game of the group stages that got them to 3rd spot. I think Valencia beat them, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
on the last day, and I think that they might only needed a draw to go through.
But then think about it. If you're thinking about it, you're but then what's the Ajax slipping? Because you're saying Valencia beat Ajax on the last day. Then this same Valencia got spanked by Atalanta 4-1. And now obviously they're getting spanked by Getafe. So you're kind of like, is this Ajax is in as? But there must be an issue there.
Yeah, very last minute goal as well though. Like it was obviously you can see. I didn't actually watch the game, but you
goal's
can
a goal. Goal's a goal.
Yeah, a goal's a goal, but you can see that Ajax were chasing that away goal and it bit them. You know, like they were probably pushing a little bit too hard. You can just tell that Kennedy goal from Getafe was a last minute counter attack. Probably like, you know, two Getafe players versus the Ajax goalkeeper. So like it was probably one of them games where Ajax spent most of the game just chasing the game, really tired towards the end, trying to chase that away goal, overcommitted, and Getafe got that last goal to make it 2-0.
So Rasmus say, talking about Europa League, Wolves seem to be the dark horse. They are indeed, and we'll talk about them actually. So just because that you brought into that conversation, Wolves 4-0 against Espanyol. On one hand, I'm not surprised because Espanyol, although they did qualify in the Europa League group, they are bottom of the Liga. You know, and if Valencia could get spanked by Atalanta 4-1. Then Espanyol, basically, it's, you know, but Diego Jota scoring a hat trick at home. I mean, that's the tie. I mean, they're effectively through to the round of 16 in the Europa League anyway. But as Rasmus says, as mentioned, are Wolves a dark horse for actually winning the Europa League?
Ooh, that's a good shout.
What do you think? What do you think, Joshy?
I mean, I hope not, but you gotta.
You hope not.
Gotta be honest. The way they play against big teams, Liverpool, they played them twice this season. No, 3 times. FA Cup. Was that FA Cup? Anyway, and every time they look so comfortable being there. You know, the way they set up, and now it's not just Jimenez scoring goals. And other players, it's Jota's getting back into form now. He was so good last season. So that's what's kind of dangerous right now. Because they have no problem scoring goals, but now Jota is, now they're basically putting 4 goals past people. That's when you got to start worrying, because their defense is, well, they set up to kind of put men behind the ball, you know. Wolves could go all the way. Will they get to see? Honestly, I think if Wolves face an English team in the semis, they're not going to go through. But I think if they face someone else, they will. That's my prediction.
Well, you mean that Wolves can't beat Arsenal?
Over 2 legs, no.
Okay.
Over final, yes.
Okay.
I don't think they can beat Man United over 2 legs either.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think I see your point. That's a fair point. It's a fair point. Fair point. Sean, do you have anything to say about that, or should we move on to the next team? In fact, we'll actually move on. I'll give it to you, Sean, just because of time. So I want to quickly talk about Rangers Sporting Braga, because my goodness, man, it was 2-0, I think, to Sporting Braga, and then somehow Rangers were able to turn it around by this like Hadji guy who just seemed to just turn up. And save, you know. I mean, it's still difficult because they did concede obviously 2 away goals and they're going away. But you know, how good were Rangers, Sean?
Fantastic. You could see the reaction on Stevie G's face at the end there, just absolutely made up, because he knows what it means to the players. Because he, you know, it wasn't long ago that he was one of those players on the pitch. You know, you could just see he just knew what it meant, and it was just absolutely massive. And Steven Gerrard has just absolutely turned Rangers around. I mean, he's already he's beat Celtic a few weeks back. Now he's got this result in the Europa. Just absolutely buzzing, and kind of a really good performance as well. Hearts and a lot of strength shown right the way to.
Oh, hello.
Oh, yeah.
We hear you now.
Hello. Yep.
So are you with Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
a lot,
Cool.
yeah, a lot of heart, a lot of strength shown right the way to the death, right the way to the final whistle. You can see what it meant to everybody. Absolutely buzzing. And now they just gotta keep going. I don't think they're expecting to get through to the final, win it. That would just be an absolute dream. But they want to do well, so they can say, well, we made it through to the whatever semis, quarters.
Do you think they'll go through?
It's gonna be really, really hard. It just was a great result for them today. I don't. It was just a great result.
Okay.
Something that they can. It will do them no harm. That result, confidence in every player there. It will get them playing better in the league, and even though I think it's going to be different when they actually face them away, and I think that will probably be the end of the Europa campaign.
Fair enough. Okay. Moving on. I think I'll do this way where I'll just go to different people and to speak on different individual matches rather than having a full. I think that'll be good. So I'll quickly go to this one because we're going to talk about the result, but also the following week. So Joshy, Arsenal, Olympiakos, Lacazette getting that goal. What will that do for his confidence? But more importantly, will Arsenal get the job done at home?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Emirates, as much as we've had our issues this season, the Emirates is still like a fortress. Even with our problems, we were beaten. I think we've been at the Emirates once this season. No, once or twice. Just once this season, from what I remember, and that was Brighton. That was a weird game. But now, Arsenal honestly looking like they finally picked it up. Consistency. When I say picked it up, I mean consistency, because that's how you get into the top fours, and that's how you win trophies, by being consistent. And it only takes 4 or 5 players to do that. Who 4 or 5 players who have consistently good performances. So at the minute, our key players are Saka, Aubameyang, Leno, Mustafi, and probably David Luiz. Probably our 5 most important players right now. Who have been consistent, sorry. But now you're talking Xhaka has been consistent. You're talking Ceballos, who basically said he needed game time so that he could try and play for the Euros. And Arteta was like, well, you've got to work hard in training. You can't just bloody mosey on over here and get into the team. And he's transformed that midfield. When Torreira is being rested and stuff, and it's going to be a good rest now for him. Now we have a rotation there. And then you've got Pepe. Pepe has got he's got I think 3 assists and 4 assists and a goal in the past 3 or 4 games. It's like, where did that come from? It's incredible. And with Martinelli's being rested, who was being absolutely insane. Lacazette, like you said, got a goal, 2 goals in 2 games, good for his confidence. And you kind of, Arsenal fans, the only thing is as an Arsenal fan, it's the hope that kills you. Like last season, we got to the final and just didn't turn up. But I don't, honestly, I've seen one bad performance this season. That was against Burnley, where we just looked tired. But we just won 3 games in 7 days. How can you doubt the commitment of a team doing that? I know it was Newcastle, but still went to Olympiakos, beat them. Just had a tough game against Everton, who have only lost against Liverpool. I'm just saying, man. Just saying. No need to hope. Just enjoy the consistency. Enjoy what your team is doing, because it looks like Arsenal Football Club again.
Yep.
Fair play, Shi. Vazman, with quick comment. Rangers' defence in their last Scottish Premier League match was absolutely shocking. If they defend like that, no chance for Rangers. I agree. That will be my one worry with Rangers, because I think defensive-wise, they're they're very, very susceptible, and that is probably what's going to cost them against Sporting Braga at home. So that was Arsenal, and so yes, just quick thing about Arsenal. So what do you think the result will be come the against Olympiakos this week?
I think we'll keep another clean sheet. Olympiakos aren't what they used to be. I think their best chance was at Olympiakos. I think it could be a battering. I would say at least 2-0. But it could be 3.
Fine. Okay. And just to finish, because we've just finished covering the British teams, because we talked about Rangers, Arsenal, Wolves. So let's just quickly go on about Celtic. Celtic obviously got an away goal against FC Copenhagen. And they'll obviously be playing, obviously in that home game, unlike Rangers, we're playing away. Do you think that they can finish the job, guys?
I think so. I don't know. Like the important away goal in Celtic is a tough place to go to. I would say Celtic have it. You'd like to think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Tough one, but they could do. Yeah, it's just going to be tough because if they concede at home, then all of a sudden it's looking like a completely different game because then they both got away goals and it's a long way back. So it's. I think they're evenly matched. I think we said that. I think before. I think we said they're quite evenly matched last time round. So 1-1's fine. It's anyone's game. Just whoever turns up on the day gets the result, gets the win.
Rasmus says, "Can Celtic go through?" Yeah, I agree. I think Celtic can go through. This is just the thing. It's funny because there was a guy on the previous sort of videos that was a Scottish fan. You commented some of the previous videos. If you check out our previous, I think Europa League video. And he actually came back to comment because it was like, I think you're being a bit too harsh on the Scottish Premier League teams. I was like, oh, okay then. And then he came back, and then he came back after the Europa League to then comment and be like, right, on our videos, and was like, listen, do you see what happened? Do you see what happened? We did quite well.
Wow,
I was like, yeah.
really?
That's what I told him. I was like, mate, come on the podcast then. Because I'm perfectly happy to have as many people come, because a maximum you can have 6 people on this, by the way. So if you have people that are like, Syria, German, or the rest of it, by all means invite. Come on, it's okay. Scottish, etc. So it diversifies the podcast and we can cover more things because we're obviously limited by what we watch. So obviously we predominantly watch the Premier League, so we're going to know more about the Premier League. But if we've got something, you know what I mean. So yeah. But my issue with Scottish football in general is that it's one of those. It's almost like Arsenal times. It's like the hope that kills you. So they could generate this hope, and then Rasmus says, I want FC Copenhagen to go through. I'm biased. They generate this hope and then they capitulate. And it wouldn't be an un-Celtic-like thing for them to capitulate at home, although I hope they don't. And likewise with Rangers, more so Rangers, for them to capitulate and get knocked out, So, but we'll see what happens, Am I wrong or wrong? Or right?
No. Yes. I think Celtic will probably get a job done, but we'll just see what happens.
Okay, I'll just see if there's any last fixtures to sort of preview. I think that's all of the previews. I mean, I guess the only one that kind of did shock me a bit, I'll just quickly go up, was Eintracht Frankfurt beating Salzburg 4-1. I thought that was a bit, sheesh, the Frankfurt are good, but I mean,
Salzburg lost two of their key players, didn't they?
They did. They lost Haaland and Minamino, so I guess that was a bit. And then halfway through the season as well, so that's probably not helped the unity, and they won't be able to bring players back. But I still thought that was a bit tough on them. So, but anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks so much for everyone watching. we'll obviously be live with a few videos later in the week. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Shout out to everyone in the comments: Rasmus A, Samani Flame, Don Magna, Red Devil Weekly, everyone who was involved in the comments, getting involved. We only do the shows because obviously we get this interaction, tell the story, and so on.
Much, guys,
we appreciate it, and we appreciate your ongoing support. Have a nice day, guys, and cheers. And